is up, ladies and gentlemen, YouTube? That's right, I'm Crispin, and today I'm going to be reviewing the 1972 or one, I forgot what it was actually, movie Deliverance. That is right, I'm going to be reviewing Deliverance. Why am I reviewing Deliverance? Because I've been doing a lot of TV. I decided, let me go back to what I like to review the best, and that is film. So here it is. I decided, hey, this is a classic. Maybe people haven't heard about it, and maybe I can actually make people go watch it because I think it's actually a fantastic film. But here it is right now. Now, Deliverance is pretty much about these four Atlanta businessmen who pretty much go canoeing to find fun in the wilderness because they want to, be a man. No, this is a man's movie, and that's pretty much what the essence of this thing is. Now, let's talk about some things I love, some things I didn't really like, or some things is not that great. Now, what I love is the cast, mainly because, you got Burt Reynolds, come on, mustache and all. That's why this is growing. Mustache and all. We got Jon Voight, we got Ronnie Cox and Ned Beatty in their film debuts, and they do a fantastic job. Ned Beatty goes through more shit in the first debut than I've probably seen of anybody else. But yeah, what this movie really does well, because granted, a cast can make or break a movie, and this movie is the cast. If these guys don't work, they don't got chemistry. This film don't work particularly. Now, this movie touches upon, what it means to survive. What it means, what happens if somebody threatens your manhood, and, what would you really do? It questions your morality, in a couple of cases. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything for you because I think you really should just watch this for yourself and experience it. But, it really questions your morality and, what would you do in order to survive? And what would happen if somebody threatened your manhood in some way? What would you be capable of? And this is what this movie does very well. Now, also, some things that is great in this fantastic thing, is the setting. The setting is very creepy. It's in, Georgia and whatnot. It feels like a very unknown and mysterious territory to the point where you're just like, what? I don't know we should be here because it feels like this is just some kind of weird wonderland and it's creepy and, you don't want to go there. But it fits very well. Also, the music is fantastic, right? Who would have thought banjoing would have actually have made for a very creepy and intense soundtrack to a film, but for some reason they actually managed to pull it off very well into this movie. Now, also a couple of things that stand out particularly is, the movie making moment particularly is, the Battle of the Banjos at the near the very beginning. I think that's a very cool scene, and it's obviously one of the standout scenes. And then the squealing of the pig scene, which is a very intense scene to the point where some people may feel a little bit unsettled, so that kind of slightly sheds into the negatives. So it slightly goes into the negatives column because it will make people feel unsettled, right? I'm just going to say that right now. So therefore, you just kind of give you a heads up, there is a rape scene in here, right? I'm not going to say who or whatever, but it is a rape scene in here just to kind of prepare you for it. And it's very intense and it's kind of unsettling. But, if you look past that, it is a fantastic movie afterwards. Also, some people say the squeal like a pig scene or squeal like a pig is a very classic quote. To me personally, a quote that I really like is what Burt Reynolds says is that, sometimes you have to lose yourself before you can find anything. And to me, I feel like that does kind of sum up this movie because they really are not looking for anything at all, particularly. They're just kind of looking. And maybe, you have to find anything. You have to find yourself and what you're capable of. You have to kind of lose yourself into this wilderness, I guess. And that's kind of what comes across. Now, some things, and those are all positives, by the way. Everything kind of does well. Also, the stunts. These guys are boating legitimately. They're archering. They're hunting for fish or whatnot. And you see it because, when they're canoeing, that is them. No stunt doubles, no nothing. That is them. Jon Voight, Burt Reynolds, Ronnie Cox, and Ned Beatty, they all do a fantastic job, and they do it on their own. And that's the 70s cinema for you right there, folks. No CGI needed, Some negatives that kind of fall into this category, you do kind of realize, like, why would they want to go into an area that they did not know anything about? I just thought that was kind of dumb to the point where you're just like, well, wait a minute. Why would you knew nothing about this area? Also, another negative is that I know some people felt a little bit controversial because they didn't really portray a lot of people from Georgia very well. They make the rednecks look very crazy and toothless aggression and whatnot, but hey, it may offend some people, it may not. And another thing, as I said, is that there is a lot of violence in this movie. Now, that's not a negative for me because it fitted the tone of the film, and for that, I was like, okay, fine. So therefore, if you're not really comfortable with too much violence, and this movie is kind of disturbing in some cases, then if you're not comfortable with that, I don't think this movie would be that well for you. But if you can just settle it up or suck it up and just be like, yeah, fuck it, I can do that, because this is a man's movie, man. You know, this, you gotta have a cheese mode in this film. But yeah, it's a man's movie. It's not, I want to say fun, but it's very intense, and it's fantastically well directed. I think by John Bookman. It could be I could have just butchered that right there, but it's a fantastic movie. Check it out. Everything I pretty much said, just take that into consideration. Deliverance, 1972. Burt Reynolds, Ned Beatty, Ronnie Cox, John Voight. If you want to see John Voight do no accents, period, there you go. This is the movie for you. A good accent he does in this film. But yeah, that's my review. I'm going to give it a rating right now. I give it bad accents. Good. It's great. I don't know if I want it on DVD because of some of the parts in here, but that's not held in the back. It's still a fantastic movie. Check it out. Comment, subscribe, like. I'm Chris Smith. I'm signing out.